I want to take a moment to brag real quick, or possibly even give people some advice. This was the original mouse cage. Or not necessarily the original, because I had two cages that they would run through. However, that is the remains of the other cage after it had fallen down the stairs and broken whenever I was trying to clean it. And these cages, this is a critter trail cage. I don't remember the exact name of it, but it is a critter trail cage, and it cost a lot of money, at the very least at PetSmart it does. I don't remember off the top of my head how much it cost, but it was a lot of money. This is their new mouse cage. As you can see, it's huge. There is a tuxedo right in there, and a chicken nugget in that tube. They're currently exploring through here and enjoying the cage. And as you can see, a lot of the little hides I have in there are like cardboard tubes, paper towel tubes, a tissue box, a box of goldfish crackers, and even like half of the original cage is in there because I don't yet have a standing water bottle. The only water bottles I have for mice are the ones that clip onto the side of the cage. So until I get that little piece of a cage is in there. But yeah, this is huge. This is absolutely huge. Like, this is almost enough space that he can live in. Like, it is almost wide enough that I could have made this into a lizard enclosure. And they are very much liking all the extra space. They're exploring around, as you can see, getting used to everything. And in total, this only cost me $10. We found this at a thrift store. We found one identical to it first, except the door was slightly broken, so they could have slipped out. And we were looking it over for like a price or something and saw it was already sold. So we couldn't get that one. So we were looking around the store some more, and this was just like a normal thrift store. And we found this one in the back, and it cost $10. This is just like a normal little shelf thing. And I'm converting it into like a big old mouse enclosure. And they are loving this, by the way. As you can see, they're exploring around, they're getting used to everything, and they are definitely loving the extra space. This, for any of you unaware, this is not enough space for a mouse, especially not two mice. They are going to get stressed in a smaller enclosure without enough space to like run around in, as well as like needing many places to hide, which is why I have all the cardboard tubes and stuff in there, because they like to hide in it, and they also like being able to chew on their hides. But this is not enough space for a mouse. And that's why I had two cages originally, but like I said, that had broke. And this cage was breaking in general. Like, it had a giant wheel up at the top, but that was breaking to the point that they could slip out of it if they wanted to. So I had to remove the wheel and cover the top of it with a plug and duct tape because the plug wasn't fitting in properly. And the two of them were stressed in this smaller cage. They would get into fights more frequently because they didn't have enough space to separate from each other. Even though this does have two floors where they could separate, it just stressed them out more. So I had the idea of like getting a cabinet and converting it into a mouse cage for a while, but I was hesitant on doing so, partially for the space it would take up and also for the price. I wasn't sure how much a used cabinet would be, and I didn't just have a cabinet I could use because the ones that would have worked that I already had were like family important stuff that I had inherited, so I don't want to ruin that. But we found this for $10, drilled a little hole through one of the floors and stuck a mouse tube through it. And this is by far possibly the best thing you can do as like a mouse enclosure. I can already tell they like the extra space. This is plenty of room. There's 2 floors, so like if they get on each other's nerves, they can separate to the other floor. As well as the fact, like, possibly even if I wanted to, I could probably get like a couple more mice, maybe like a third one. And this would still be enough space for them, because this is plenty of space. And mice are naturally social, so they would actually like that. But this works out great for them. And if you're planning on getting mice, don't buy these cages. They fucking suck. They are the equivalent of like buying a dollhouse and shoving your mice in a dollhouse. The plastic is incredibly cheap and breaks so easily. I've had so much problems with these cages, with just them breaking and like just over time, these things do not last. Things in them will break off and just get worse, and over time, like, the plastic in it holds gunk in so well that, like, it has to be deep cleaned every time it's cleaned, which makes me even more hesitant to clean it, ironically, even though the longer I wait, it'll get worse. But, yeah. So, this is cheaper, because I just bought this at a thrift store, and it was a lot easier to use as well. And it's a lot of space that they love, and it's probably going to last a lot longer, because, like, it's straight up a cabinet. So, if you're planning on owning mice, or do own mice, and you're like me and hate the normal PetSmart stuff that they have, I would recommend doing something along the lines of this. Maybe, like, look online or look at your local thrift shops or secondhand furniture stuff. See what all they have. And yeah. And some more footage of them running around doing their things. It's Tuxedo, and Chicken Nugget is back there. She's hiding. Nugget. I know the wheel is also smaller than I would like, but currently the only other bigger wheel that I have is made to clip onto the side of a cage. And if I put another cage half in there, I don't think it would be able to support their weight on its own, so currently I can't put in a bigger wheel. I'm going to be going to PetSmart soon and be picking up, like, better supplies for them that would fit into this. But other than that, I think this will work out great.